Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's so many, give it Sunday magic. It's not a game, it's not a game. Banging on your chest when I come through the pain. Never been about the money or the fame. But when it bring both, so here we go again. Wins on the road, yeah, I got those. Couple records that I hold, yeah, I got those. It's the playoffs, the team just got home. We ain't going outside when it matter most. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's so many, give it Sunday magic. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's so many, give it Sunday magic.
Yeah. Yeah. Hold up, it ain't easy breaking away or being a great. They slamming the door, I'm jumping the gate. Cause a starving stomach like being punched in the face. And an instrumental was the last time that I ate food from all of the base. My ace boom goon, big son told me about the game. 20 years later, know my name. King, crown me, lounge in the back of the spot. Pay homage to an underground peasant, climb to the top. Funny style on elevators could never fade us. I peep data stain anytime they congratulate us. Goggles is worn and bottles is popping. I'm beyond Sanders on haters, this ice bucket dropping over their head with it. Extra the cred with it. You either fight or flight, I ain't one for the ledge living. I do it for the one that died but fed millions. With soul food flowed and stock my bare kitchen. I'm liberated. I drew a play that they ain't illustrated. I make a move, they gladly imitate it. I ain't flattered, I'm a dragon to your paper castle. The alpha and omega, promise it ain't nothing after. A new beginning. My catalog like James L. Jones, the ever living. Imagine if I did make beats that's more for killing. Imagine if you come from the sci-fi, my city. You probably wouldn't make it, oh yeah, yeah, really. I go extra to be great. I go extra for the fam, I go extra for the cake. I got extras on the plate. I go extra every day, I got extras on the way. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. Ain't no mileage or $4 configure the road I travel. Don't gravel, that's probably baffling. Label scribble on paper, they wanna shackle it. I own my masters and royalties, you can't raffle it. Wrist drip like a mango, fingertips like I'm Thanos. Knocking those down, no bangles. Without a Kango, tailor-made. Walk with a limp, them bands is heavy, I need a brace. I am money, I guess the world is just a safe combination needed, not a coca key.
Some of those in the silver-haired community would say it's a great day for golf, and it is, don't get me wrong, but we say it's a great day for football, and the roof is wide open here in Glendale at State Farm Stadium. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. First play and a first pass for Murray. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Mike, 56. 56. Here we go, D. Get off the field. 56 to Mike, boys. 56.
Throwing now is Murray. And he'll air this one deep for Anderson. And that's caught inside the 35. And he's going to step out of bounds all the way down at the 30-yard line. So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with James Conner. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The Cardinals at 3-5, 2 games under 500. And they coming on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Zach Ertz, 29 yards. And the Cardinals are on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point good by Prater. And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. They'll run here with a rookie 2nd-round pick, Kenneth Walker. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. Deep ball for Goodwin. And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Now remember, these two teams met in Glendale earlier in the season with the Cards coming out on top. So a win here in Arizona would give them the season sweep. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Well, to me, there is no question about the intent there, and I think he was a little fortunate that the penalty flag didn't come out for grounding. But he'll get away with it and get another shot on 3rd down.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Throwing is Smith. I'm not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
On the return, Dortch. 40 yards on the punt, 2 on the return, and the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. 3-5 is where they sit on the year. A very uneven start is certainly not an ideal position to be in at the halfway point of the season. CD, do you see an avenue where they can still be a playoff team, or is that ship sailed?
Well, since you took me to the nautical side, I'm going to try and keep up here because, to me, this ship is about ready to pull out of port. These next couple of games are absolute must-wins for them. Now, if they can win a couple, get to 5-5, maybe they start believing in themselves. But a loss here, that would move them to 3-6. And if that's the case, well, that boat is going to head out to the harbor with them still on the dock.
Meanwhile, Murray's throw is caught here by Anderson. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 43. Now Murray. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. Had the offense humming on the first drive. Not much has changed here on drive number 2.
No, and I think a lot of times confidence just really kicks in for a team. They may have been confident going into the game, but once you prove it on a drive, it's hard to get out of that mindset, isn't it? And look, let's face it, we can always lock in on the skill position, guys. For those big fellas up front, they're really making this offense go early in the game.
From the 31, Murray. And this is caught. Touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. Well, this has been a flawless start for them. They score, they get the stop, and they score again, Charles.
Complimentary football at its finest. You just mentioned how they got it done. They scored. The defense got the ball back for them. They score again. That's the way you win ball games.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
On 2nd down, it's Walker. And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49. Well, this defense for the Cards, they were very good a week ago in that win over Minnesota.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there, 4th and 3.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Seahawks force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. He's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his...
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. And the Cards are going to take possession of the football. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Murray a give. This is Connor. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Rolling to his right. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
Prater's kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands. I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving. Another incompletion there. That's 5 in a row now to start this game. He's got to take a deep breath now, step back, shake it off a little bit, trust his offensive line, and hope that his play caller dials up something that can give him a completion and get him going.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 22 yards there, a first down. Walker now on 1st and 10. 61 yards rushing for him now as his fine rookie season continues. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Geno. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked by Trayvon Mullen. And the Cardinals are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. The drive will start with Connor, and he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
They'll fake it to Connor. Now Murray. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. Well, they were obviously backed up. Had a little bit of space from the goal line, snapping it from the 3, but still trying to throw it. And
yeah, exactly. This is where hindsight is 20/20 comes into play, right? Seems like a good idea to throw the ball there. Maybe you'll surprise them and catch them off guard. Instead, you've created a turnover, put your defense in a bad spot.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1? The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside.
Come on. Back to 50.
On 3rd down, Penny. He's going to be very close to a first down. Good running, but looks like he's a yard short. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. This is a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. Myers' kick is good, and they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started.
Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so try to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the 4th quarter, but you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's 1 interception, we're still in the first half, I'm going to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him.
Oh, they've intercepted Murray for the 3rd time.
Picked up by Trey Brown. And the Seahawks are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play.
And this is caught at the 20. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf, 63 yards. And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that slices the lead down to 17-10. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. And we'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Trey Brown. And the Cards are going to take possession of the football. Well, obviously, they never want to see penalties on that defense, but this one a little bit more significant there on the downfield pass play.
And coaches preach it all the time. You can't put yourself in that kind of position if you're the defender. You've got to stay in a spot far downfield where you can play the ball without creating extra contact.
23 yards, the final tally. Here's Murray. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Jordan Brooks with it. And the Seahawks are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
And time to give some credit to the big fellows, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys. Well, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with, some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. So the false start will back them up 5. So we reach halftime here in Glendale with the Cardinals on top. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. The Seahawks trailing, but they will have possession first here as we resume action in the 3rd quarter. Taken in at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Third quarter begins with a run by Walker. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Geno now to throw. That's caught over the middle by Fant. It'll go down as a gain of 6. And they're going to have a 3rd down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. And that is incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to get them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football and now zapped right back in the other direction.
So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And they will take over 1st and 10.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started.
56, the mark, boys, 56.
They start with a give to Connor. Up past the 30, 2nd down coming up.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And now here is another interception. Jordan Brooks with it. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football.
I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go.
77 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
And this carry not as productive. He swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. They'll try for the first with Walker.
And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
Here's Walker.
And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
On 2nd and goal, Smith. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17.
Linval Joseph breaking free and dropping him.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Throwing now is Gino. Escapes the sack. Under pressure, they got him again.
A nightmare on 3rd and goal. He's sacked and multiple players broke through the line to get him.
Myers' kick is good. And that will cut this lead back down to 4 now. It's 17-13.
Well, the 3 points certainly helps, but you feel like, Charles, at this stage of the game, when you force those turnovers, need to start converting them into touchdowns.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised myself because I thought in this situation they were thinking end zone or bust. Now they got to rely on their defense to get the ball back again for another opportunity to get 6 points.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Here comes another drive from this unit, and Charles, they're coming off a costly mistake on the last possession, an interception in a game that is very close right now.
Well, as we know, they all sting no matter what the situation, but in a one-possession game, that'll hurt a little bit more. But this is an excellent opportunity to make up for it on this drive. I just don't expect them to try and take huge gambles to make up that momentum in a hurry.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Jamal Adams.
And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. Well, to be frank, CD, this is getting tough to watch. I mean, you feel for him, but 6 interceptions, that's at a whole new level. It's not a good level.
It makes it tougher and tougher to come up with ways to try and support him, but you have to as a team.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Ken Walker, his 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks have moved out in front here in the final minute of the 3rd quarter. Myers connects on the PAT, and that gives him a 3-point lead. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right.
And now here is another interception. And the Seahawks are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 16. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the 1st. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Good work bringing that one back as he picks up about 16 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Murray now. Getting the ball to Anderson here on the out route. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Here's Murray from midfield. He completes it once more to Anderson. And he'll be tackled after a gain of 4. Still 3 yards short. 4th down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. On 1st and 10 is Connor. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Again, a run with Connor. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. It's a gain of 11 and a Cardinal first down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And now Murray's going to set up to throw. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Robbie Anderson from 17 yards out. And the Cardinals have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter. Prater for the extra point. And that will make this a 4-point game. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the fourth quarter. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. On the counter, it's Walker. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
That's complete to a speedy wideout Goodwin. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Up the middle they run, it's Walker. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. Smith. This one goes underneath to Walker. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Now Smith. Completes it to Fant on the right side. Touchdown, Seahawks. Noah Fant from 13 yards out. And the Seahawks answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a fourth-quarter lead. Extra point up and through by Myers. So it's now a 3-point game here in the closing stages as a field goal now can only tie it. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this taken in at the goal line. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And the football changing hands here as this offense takes the field. Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive, because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Now Murray. And that will be incomplete.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. Straight ahead, Walker. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. The Cardinals forced to burn their third and final timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Down to a knee, here goes Smith, and that should all but do it. So the victory here for Seattle. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you can just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover, after turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football, because they just felt like if we go out there, we're just going to turn it over anyway. So it was really, really a stellar performance.
So for the Seahawks, it's an important win for their postseason hopes as they at least get back to 4-5. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's a many given Sunday magic. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up,